G'day ladies and gentlemen, welcome to By Artists for Artists. My name is Jazza and this is the Artist Showcase where you all send your artwork in to By Artists for Artists and 10 of them are chosen to be showcased in this video and one of them is chosen to be put on the front page of newgrounds.com and is the winner of the feature of the week. If you want to enter your own artwork, there's an instruction segment at the very end of the video. Otherwise, getting started, our first piece is by artist Holly Cloak and it's called Violet Mistress. Now you wouldn't know it by looking at it, but this is this artist's first ever digital painting. I know, crazy, right? As an image in itself, it's got a fantastic portrayal of the female figure, nice simple pose, and very, very nice colouring. So for someone who's done their first digital painting, first of all, they did a really good thing in that they chose things that weren't overly difficult to convey, so nothing too crazy with effects or environments or anything like that. Kept it fairly simple and well-rounded in it being focused on the character and some cloth, a little texture here and there, but what is there and was focused on is done so well and it's just a superb piece. So fantastic work and I really look forward to seeing more of your digital art. The next piece is by Azification and it's called Agmorian. This piece was drawn on poster-sized paper and then photographed and coloured in Photoshop. The line work, which was done traditionally, is really well done and really nice subtle use of solid shading in certain areas, as well as the fact that in the digital painting part of the piece, the colours are really cool. So the fact that there's this edge lighting on the left side of this character's head and parts of its torso and stuff in this purple, and then the rest is mostly in these pinkish reddish hues, really contrasts quite well and is very effective. So fantastic submission and I look forward to seeing more. Next piece by artist Amigia1924 is called Leviathan and oh my goodness, it is stunning. I'm going to be sending this piece to Tom and requesting that we have 2 winners of the front page feature on Newgrounds because this one is just amazing and it was so good and amazing. It like really close to being the feature of the week. So that must mean the feature of the week is very good as well. But seriously, it blows my mind, the sense of scale, the mixture of really nice colors, the wet feel of the water and the rain, the wind and the environment, and then the feeling of atmosphere with the environment at the back, especially with the difference in tone between the colder colors in the foreground and then this background, which is in that sort of yellowy brown gray. This piece is astounding, fantastic work, and I don't see any more of this artist's images on Newgrounds. So if you see this and you're the artist, please show us more because this is amazing. Our next piece is by artist Surfside Aaron and it's called Dismantled. This piece is more of an abstract piece and it's gorgeous. I'm really loving this week's submissions. We have things of all different kinds of mediums and styles and yet all holding their own really well. There's an immediate hit of contrast between very strong cold colors and very strong warm colors that are kind of mixed with their strokes so loosely but portraying very clearly what is the back of a human male torso in its raw muscular form. It's just fantastic. I love the texture of this piece, the really loose brush strokes and that feeling of having been touched by hand. There's a wonderful mix between chaos and control in this piece, between complete bedlam and looseness and randomness, and yet communicating exactly what is trying to be communicated. It's just lovely. Next piece by the always amazing artist Anti-Skill is called Dragon Hunting. This piece was a speed painting, so the artist Anti-Skill must have challenged himself to kind of get something done within a certain time and tried different techniques, which I hugely respect in Anti-Skill. He always tries something different and pushes himself in different ways, so massive respect there. And this piece is really clever in the way that we are tricked into thinking there's a huge amount of detail because we look at the overall piece broadly and our eye is immediately drawn to 2 areas, the hunter in the foreground on the right and then the beast being hunted in the background on the left. And that's because these figures have quite a bit of detail, but throughout the rest of the piece it's actually very loose. It's mostly texture and brush strokes and silhouette, and it guides the eye in a way that tricks us into thinking there's a lot more happening than there is, but what is happening holds its own so well that that's how the illusion takes place, and it's fantastically well done. I keep saying fantastically again. I addressed this problem last week. Anti-Skill has been a long-time contributor to the showcase and hasn't stopped, so massive thank you to Anti-Skill, thank you. And to everyone else, if you like this piece and you want to see more amazing artwork, they're all so different and so well made. I really recommend going to the Tumblr and following the link to Anti-Skill's piece and then checking out more of his artwork. Our next piece is by Agent Spy Monkey and it's called Avatar: The Four Elements. The most striking thing about this piece, in my opinion, is the composition. Of course, it's very well drawn, but the way that this artist has combined these four elements into one piece is very well done. So the composition is very strong, the line work in the characters, and of course the elemental effects, which is one of the most prominent parts of the image. So thank you very much to Agent Spy Monkey, who has submitted this artwork and is also a long-time submitter and contributor to the Showcase series. Next artist is Declan McDermott 97. I think I pronounced that correctly. The piece is called The Journey Ahead, and it's one of those pieces that makes you feel like a narrative is taking place, like you are watching a story and you are a part of it. It's very charming. The lack of color complements the style and the aesthetic that the artist is going for, with a minimal touch of red on the cloak of this fighter on the left and the minimal sepia-ish tone, like just a slightly rusty tone to what is mostly a black and white feeling image. And we can see that blurry castle off in the distance with a dragon and that very, very long bridge, drawing the eye away from the figure in the foreground, and yet the foreground figure is the one in focus, which makes our eye see a lot and pushes our eye to the distance, but also makes us really focus on this character and where we are. So it's like we are where he is and feeling like we're so far away from this place that we need to be, but it also gives it this ominous feel because everything is so dark and lacking in color. It's really well conveyed. Next piece is by artist IC23 and it's called Eye Study Number 2. I can't tell you how many eyes are submitted to the showcase. I guess it's like a practice thing. We all like drawing eyes, but rarely do we see ones this well done. Now they are of celebrities and the artist names the celebrities in the piece's description, so see if you can guess them and then go check and see if you're right. The shading is lovely and the contrast in the darks where they need to be the darkest, and then the softness of the skin shading and tones and the detail in things like hair and eyelashes, it's all very well done. Next piece is by artist Johnny V47 and it's called Some Guy Looking at Something. I like the somewhat sarcastic nature of the naming of the piece, and you get the kind of idea that the artist had the tone of the piece in mind and not necessarily cared too much about the names. So in creating a very dramatic piece, a somewhat sarcastic name was picked to kind of make fun of the cliche that we get these dramatic images of heroes looking off at the distance or at something dramatic. But it's very well done. The lighting is great, and we've got these almost lens flare-ish overlays on the character, as well as some strong rim lighting and a good focus on shading on the character, on where the light is hitting and where the shadow falls. Really nice warm tones, everything's keeping in with that sci-fi theme, so great work and thank you for submitting to the showcase. And ladies and gentlemen, our final piece and feature of the week is by artist Russ Fairchild and it's called Back to Hell. This is one of those pieces where I am literally nearly speechless. It's blowing my mind. Seriously, I'm like, looking at this piece gives me a rush, like, of inspiration and joy. It's incredible. Now, I know that we all have our different tastes, and this may not be to the taste of some people who may like more photorealistic art or more sentimental art or something like that, but I'm someone who has always loved Blizzard's art style, and so obviously this artist is replicating that art style because it's an ode to Diablo 3 and an entry to a competition for Diablo 3. But as a piece of art itself, as a piece with colors and form and texture and action and elements, and I'm completely floored. Everything about this is brilliant and there is nothing else I can say, because all you have to do is look at it and just see how incredible it is. I highly recommend going and checking out the full high resolution picture. It is beyond amazing. So Russ Fairchild, just to you, endless respect. First of all, for the theme, because it's really cool. But second of all, for really challenging yourself. I can really see that you pushed yourself with this one. Russ Fairchild, too, is a long-time contributor to the Artist Showcase, and it's so inspirational to see these talented artists really challenge themselves and push themselves. And it's not like, you know, I'm picking favorites because some of the people keep getting in and in. They're getting in again and again because every time it's something amazing, because they've pushed themselves that much further. And this piece, I have no idea how he's going to beat this piece, and if he does, I quit. I'm out. Just kidding, but seriously, amazing and so worthy of the feature of the week. Thank you so much for submitting, everyone who has submitted to the Artist Showcase, and there are some entries that didn't necessarily make it in this video that are featured in the Tumblr post. If you want to enter to the Artist Showcase, there's a description coming up. Now, this is just something random, but I wanted to air an opinion out there. I'm thinking sometime in the future, it won't be anywhere near now, but maybe a few months from now, maybe half a year from now, I'm not quite sure, but when BAFA has grown a bit and started to hold its own, I'm wondering what you guys think about having varying hosts. That's one of the things I couldn't really be open to on Draw with Jazza because it was me and Draw with me. Whereas I quite like the idea of opening it up a bit and having some of you who are either YouTubers or a little more confident in front of a camera who might be willing to take the 10 showcase entries and give your own critiques on them, and I would take that video, edit it, and put together the video. So it's just something to think about. I'm just kind of wondering what your thoughts are as an audience. Would you enjoy the feeling of watching each showcase, having a new host each time, or maybe having a guest host once a month or something like that? Just tell me your thoughts. I'm curious to hear what you think. Otherwise, thank you for watching this video, ladies and gentlemen, and until next time, I will see you later. Do you want a chance to be featured in a future Artist Showcase video? Upload your artwork to the art portal on newgrounds.com. Send a link to your artwork in a private message to us by going to our user page at byartist4artist.newgrounds.com and click send a private message. Make sure the words Artist Showcase are in your message title and that the link to your artwork is in the message. Please send us a link to one image and not a whole gallery, and limit yourself to one artwork submission per week. To qualify for the showcase, your artwork must be uploaded to the newgrounds.com art portal. Remember, if your artwork is selected to be featured in a showcase video, there will be a delay from when you send it by at least several weeks to when it's showcased in the video. Thanks for following the showcase, and we look forward to seeing your art in the future.